Hello, everybody. Today we're going to be doing Spaceflight Industries. Spaceflight Industries is actually essentially an umbrella group for a couple of other space companies, and essentially it had Spaceflight Incorporated, but it sold it in last year. They also have a joint venture called I believe that's Leo Stella. Yeah, Leo Stella with another company called Valsalina. That's a French, I think that's a French Italian. Yeah, French Italian company. Spaceflight Industries was founded in 2009 by Jason Andrews. And with that, let's go into the actual website. It shows the launch ban, the services for it. Has the header has the services like launch services, mission management. They have a pricing schedule, which is and this is per pound actually. I'll show you that a little later. I'm still not. I tried looking at this, but I don't think it. Yeah, it's basically talking about one of its projects, its big project, which is trying to make an imagery satellite constellation. They're trying to send up, I believe, 60 satellites that will end up becoming. You'll be able to see essentially order a photograph of a certain area, and in about 90 minutes it should be ready for you, uh, which down to a resolution of about a meter. So these are the satellites that they have. They have a couple satellites already up, but the Sherpa LTC and the Sherpa LTE are two of the ones that they're essentially uh, they're they haven't launched yet. Uh, and I believe that they're trying to tune them to SpaceX, if I remember correctly, somewhere. Uh, yeah, the Sherpa LTC, that one is tuned to Starlink. So then that way you can actually, it's basically a redundancy for, I think, either one of their systems for their communications. When you go into the pricing, it's actually pretty straightforward with this because it says, okay, this is the price to Leo, this is the price to Geo. So you have the container class, which is how big the payload is that they'll buy, and then you'll have the price for that amount. Like, for example, 50 kilograms is $895,000. Um, which I guess it's basically per 50, 100, 150, 200, 300, etc., up to 1,000 kilograms. But for the over anywhere over 300, I guess you need to call them probably to negotiate a specific price. Uh, Probably because the numbers are so high, you might need to do different orbits, and it's worth their time to actually go and check them. So it's also going to definitely be different between the launch provider because, as far as I'm aware, that these guys don't have their own launch system. Which here's another thing. Where is the launch system? Let's see, service, mission, launch services. So you go into their launch services system, and they're saying that we'll get all commercially competitive launch vehicles within the limits of U.S. export regulations. Uh, so they'll use all of these assets, and I'm pretty sure. I think they put the ISS up there because it's a potential destination. Obviously, it's not really a launch service, but they'll be able to put stuff on all of these rockets. When you go into the pricing and when you go into the customers, here's the other interesting thing about them. They actually list off a lot of their customers, which is pretty interesting. So these are customers that they serve, uh, and all of these are. I've only seen a couple of these before, like Honeywell. That's obviously a big system. Capella, but the other ones I haven't really seen much. much about yet. Uh, like they even have a high school in there, or middle school actually. So they're trying to send a. I guess they send it to space? They built a CubeSat. They built this little CubeSat, and they have they launched it yet? Uh, duh, 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 duh. Okay, they haven't launched it yet, but according to this, they're set to launch this year on one of SpaceFlight's dedicated rideshare mission. So that's pretty cool. Um, and let's see, down to the missions. When you go in here, these are the missions that they must have flown before, all the mission patches, along with the date of when they were. So it looks like the top one is the most recent one, and then going down, that's when the first ones were. So that's the overview of spaceflight in I believe Spaceflight Incorporate Spaceflight Industries. Thank you. So, however, there are two subsidiaries which we'll go into, and Black Sky Aerospace. That is uh, one of their subsidiaries, Black Sky Global LLC, and essentially it looks like an Australian company trying to probably help Australia with its space program. And let's see, Australia's leading propellant manufacturer and launch service provider. So I don't think they've actually. Okay, BSA launched Australia's first commercial payload and became the first and only Australian company with the ability and the license to manufacture large-scale solid rocket motors. So these guys make solid rocket motors, and there's all sorts of stuff. Probably, do they have actual rockets? Yeah, I guess these are rockets that they did. I don't think any of these look. None of these look orbital class. So they might be like sounding rockets or suborbital. Um, but uh, let's see, accreditations. Yeah, these are just all the business awards that they won. News that they're talking about. Oh, and it looks like they did finally get around to using liquid fueled propellant. Let's see. Yeah, they're using sounding rockets, it looks like. It says here that it looks like Black Sky and another company called Raptor Aerospace completed Australia's first private sounding rocket campaign. So that probably means that they at least have a sounding rocket that runs on liquid propellant. Now, the next one is Leo Stella, which is their uh, Spaceflight Industries joint venture with Felsalina. And if you can see this, these guys are basically Seattle-based. They're talking about a small satellite design. So they're making these little small satellites here. Looks like yeah, it looks like a CubeSat with probably nothing more than like maybe 20, 30 pounds. Uh, and yep, that's it for that. When you go into here, you can go in, check the team. That if you might not be able to see this, but that's why I highlighted it. You can see a couple, about 5 things here. Let's go into there. These are the main people in this. Looks like this is the company. That's the company's team, etc. Let's go back to. Oh, come on. Knock it off. So we are having a little bit of technical difficulties. Let's try this again. Okay. Black Sky Global. Da, 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 da. Hmm? Oh, I guess there's another company called Black Sky out there. So this is Black Sky Aerospace, specifically, LLC, which is Space. And is this another one? Okay, they're just, looks like they're, oh wait, I'm looking into Leo Stella, aren't I? Okay, sorry about that, guys. DuckDuckGo, Leo Stella. All right, so going into careers, they do have a career page, but it's pretty barren. So far, it says an avionics software engineer, and that's so. If anyone's an avionics software engineer interested in there near Washington, you can go in there. What's so the position description is uh, a developer to create flight software that drives mission execution and success. We need an exceptional individual contributor who enjoys working very closely with hardware in an agile and dynamic environment where schedules are critical. So essentially, the required qualifications is you need to be a U.S. Person. It doesn't say anything about citizens, so that's a possibility for anyone who's like a permanent resident. Uh, Due to government regulation of the space industries, this requirement cannot be waived. So here's the thing. I've actually seen a lot of government contractors. You need to be not just a U.S. Person, but an actual citizen. But that might just be in security firms. Bachelor of Science or greater in electrical or computer engineering or a related field, 8 years of experience delivering and maintaining commercial software in a production environment, knowledge, let's see, expertise in software development in C for embedded Linux systems, knowledge of Python and C++, familiarity with software version control management, such as Git. Uh, that's actually almost universal at this point. Passion for working closely with hardware, excellent in interpersonal skills, and belief in strong collaborative approach with multi. So yeah, that one's actually you can most people can probably fake that if you really have a strong desire of working in the space industry. Desired qualifications include knowledge of FPGA, which I don't really know what that is. Also, VHDL. Anyone who is watching, please, who knows what that is, please let me know. Um, Requirements management tools, Jam and Doors. Uh, da, 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 da. Yeah, it's pretty. Capability to use electrical measurement equipment like function generators and oscilloscopes. That's probably in order to ensure that you know how to like design the rocket and check to see if there's any issues. So news about Leostella. We'll go into that, and here's their top company to work for in Washington State. Or one of them, I guess. One of the top 100. Let's see. They're talking about infrastructure as a service. Uh, Down here, talking about innovator of the year. Probably, yeah, this is just Seattle's. So that isn't saying much considering it's one city. Uh, let's see. No offense if you're from Seattle, but let's see. Uh, they do have a satellite factory open for business now. And so these guys manufacture satellites, and then Black Sky manufactures the fuel. They have a bunch of stuff from GeekWire. Leo Stella. Was Leo Stella created in? All right. So I think they were talking about Leo Stella with just a Leo Stella makes the satellites, and then Black Sky seems to make fuel. So each one is designed to do something else, and they're both subsidiaries of SpaceFlight Industries, um, which was created by Jason Andrews and a guy named Kurt Blake, who I guess he looks like he was the senior vice president and the general counsel. So, with that, I will see you later.